nation, and all of us know who are Israelites and conscious of the various communities, that the kingdom has been the most successful and prosperous of all of our communities, including Hashaba Yisrael. And therefore, Hashaba Yisrael, in terms of the law, has been the community that has been able to establish the strongest teachings and implementation of our own way of worshiping and keeping all the holy days with a Siddur written by one of our own, namely Cohen Mekiel Ben Israel. And when these two schools come together, a school of survival, because the kingdom knows how to survive. That's what they were doing in Israel, Liberia. They know how to do that. They have structure and organization and government that the other communities don't have. By bringing that to Guyana, our community became even stronger, more structured than we were when we were called Hashaba Yisrael, able to now engage in things that were available due to opportunities here in Guyana, land, thousands of acres of land that are under our hands for cultivation. And so now being organized to get people to work, that's what the kingdom do. The people in the kingdom follow leadership and they get things done because they believe in their leadership, they respect their leadership. And another thing that has destroyed our community is that when we get people to respect leadership, then the leadership many times too often have betrayed the people, and they've not been fair with them and have not justly and righteously dealt with the people. So out of this, we can learn from both schools how to deal with people righteously if we're leadership, and how the people should support the leadership, because the leaders can't do it without the people, and the people can't do it without leadership. Somebody has to lead us, and hopefully there'll be men of Yah that will guide and lead us. In this relationship that has developed now over nearly coming up to 20 years, our communities have gotten stronger. Many of our community members here in Guyana have gone to Israel, and vice versa. We have more and more of the kingdom coming and wanting to come to Guyana and to Barbados and to Trinidad, and brothers that we would know like a tour Dr. Kazriel has been sent out many times. We have met Yafa in conferences in Barbados. We've met in South Africa and other parts of the Caribbean, here in Guyana, to work together to gather and to unite Israel. Abba Ben Ammi is one of the most gracious and kindest Israelites that I've ever met. I want to do for others some of the things that Abba Ben Ammi did for me and for my growth and my development. He bought me a ticket and allowed me to go to South Africa to represent the kingdom, to speak in Durban, South Africa, at a conference that had Jews that were in dialogue with Israelites over who are the real people and how do we work as Torah keepers in the Jewish community and the Israelite community to help the world. The conference was founded upon the concept that the world leaders and CEOs of the world have been misguided by the false interpretation of the Bible. So we came to South Africa to discuss what's the real truth in the Bible. And that's the forum I want to be in always, the forum that deals with truth. Because the truth that I've been given by Cohen Levi and the Torah and the other teachers before him is a truth that the whole world needs to know. It's going to set the planet free and connect us back once again with the Creator. Abba Ben Ammi saw that I traveled to Ghana, to Egypt, so that I could get knowledge and be able to bring those scriptures alive by having these experiences. It taught me how important it is to have people travel because it broadens you. And so all of the institutions that we have in Guyana, at some point we're hoping they will be prosperous, and our brothers and sisters are going to be given the opportunity to travel, hopefully with little of their own money or with whatever they can do to supplement it until we can get to where we can independently send people to experience the communities of Israelites in Ghana. We got to meet our family in South Africa. You will love them. To meet the families of Israelites that are conscious like you all around the world. Guyana and Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados. It's an unbelievable experience to know our people in Yah on that level, not just on sitting on a Shabbat service and reading the book. The Torah has to become alive, and it has to become a fulfillment of prophecy in every Israelite community. Abba Ben Ammi understood that. We both agreed on that, and we worked together. One of our greatest events in Guyana was in 2007 when Abba Ben Ammi came here. You'll see footage of that as I'm about to close out. And the impact that he made on our community and on the Israelites here in this country, it was a great day to see how internationally Israelites came into a country and everyone knew that this was a representation of the Israelites that were scattered in the diaspora. The Rastafarian could relate to it. The churches, everyone, when we got out of that religious mindset and started thinking about nation being a people and identity, everyone agreed that this was, again, a phenomenon that was taking place. We're looking to do it again in 2016, July 2nd to August, to bring Israelites from around the world again so that we can continue to try to join ourselves together as a people. Abba Ben Ammi and my joining of the two sticks was symbolic of the idea expressed in the book of Ezekiel that I mentioned earlier. And all of these things that I have been saying are a product of joining each other with one another. And what they have gained from us in dialogue and what we have gained from them has helped all of us. And it will continue. And again, we had these two books. I remember when he asked me, Cohen, he said, what can I do to help you help your community? I said, I have some manuscripts, Abba. One of them is called Israelites and Jews, but nobody will publish it. Everybody that I go to and they see the topic, they don't want to touch it. So they turn me down. He said, send your manuscript to Nasik Emmanuel next week, and we're going to see if we can publish it. He'll be able to tell me. So as a result of that visit, Israelites and Jews was published. That was to deal with the identity questions. And this title, Israelites and Jews, the significant difference. That word significant difference is key for anyone understanding the differences between Israelites and Jews. One being, of course, the Israelites a nationality, the Jews being a religion. And we show all of the things that emphatically show that is true. This title called Final Resolution, the separation of truth and lies in the Bible. Both titles were a combination of both of our minds. Nasik Emmanuel, Atur Yatziliel, Atur Amios at the time. We all talked about what the manuscript was saying, and these titles were the titles that we said was the best. Final resolution and the final determination, resolution of all the problems and stuff that people say is one way or the other way. The Christian is right, the Muslim is right, everybody think they're right. Everybody who deals with this book and thinks that the New Testament is the Word of God and not the Old, or that the Bible is all true and there are no lies in the Bible. This book was designed to let us know that we must separate and know the difference between the Greek writings and the Hebrew writings, and to know which ones are ours, and how the Bible has been infiltrated and deception has been placed in these lines so that we cannot find. Even in translations of the words of the Bible, everything is not translated accurately. This book was designed to show that, because most of our people, they cannot find nationality because of religion. Their mind is in a religious concept. And when you think of yourself as a religion, that has nothing to do with identity. You're not born in a religion. You don't have a religious language. So you got to find nationality. And Abba Ben Ammi is the person responsible for publishing these books and my Hebrew books that are writing, and books that are still coming forth, because in unity there's strength. And so again, another benefit out of the relationship. Imagine if every Israelite on the planet who was a writer, author, a poet, had access to our own communications press with our own producers and writers and editors and authors and what have you, to produce our writings and works. That's what the Chinese do. That's what everybody does. It's called nationalism. We agreed that we have to do the same. And so this relationship continues to this day. It is stronger than ever, and it's going to continue to grow, because we both decided when we joined these two sticks together, never again will anything separate the nation of Israel. We are not in agreement on everything. We both agreed. We'll put that on the back burner, and we'll bring it up to the front at the appropriate time. We'll talk about it. Yah will guide us. We'll get it right. But we're not going to let these little issues about your tzitzis on the right, your tzitzis pinned on, mine or sewed on, separate us. You can wear a turban, I can't. No. We're going to understand that we have a culture, we have a way of life, and that one day we want to try and have a national representation of how we wear the tzitzis, a national representation of how we wear our culture. What is our hat dress? What is the way we dress in terms of our undies, the things that are close to our bodies, called gedalim in the kingdom. These things coming right out of the Torah. And so that we have brought many things together. Gedalim was not a part of my original understanding. Now I know and understand a little more, I can do a little more. Each one teach one, we learn from each other. In Guyana we say hand, wash hand, make hand come clean. Try washing your hands just with one. So may the Most High bless you, and may you enjoy the rest of the footage that you'll be seeing. I'd like to thank my brother Ak, again, Kimmel, the producer of all of this work. He's a great photographer in our community, and we are doing this for the glory of the Holy One of Israel. I hope it glorifies him and that he's pleased, and that our people will learn and also agree that we must come together and we must have dialogue. Toda Rabbah. And the Babylonian Talmud, as you move into that period of the apocryphal writings of the Bible, the Maccabean history, 167 BC is when you start to get that transition period. So that will where your evidence will be for that.
Are there references of this debate?
Yeah, not really, but you will get commentary, on the different books, and you will get information for sure.
In the Babylonian
Talmud, the Mishnah, Shulchan Aruch, all of those writings, that period represents your transition from what we call the ethnic representation of Israel in the ancient history into what we know today in modern Judaism.
It is out there, but the tools to read it if you want. That detail to be done there. Okay. So just broad question, short answer.
No such thing.
If we go back to pre-Assyrian and Babylonian conquest of the northern kingdom, also the southern kingdom, I believe we might see the area of Jews, let's say the people of Sinai, in areas outside of the area of Canaan. And when we look at those returning captives, then where did these returning captives actually go? Some of them went even before they went into captivity, back into the apostate. Don't mind my saying. I'm not a theologian, I'm not anything like that.
Keep it short.
I'm sorry. I posit that we have questions as to whether the people actually so vehemently disobeyed God that God executed them being diasporized. And many of them went north, we know. I don't think that the intermarriage later was a key thing, but it was the intermarriage early on that caused much of the problems that we're having even now, because people, culture trumps religion.
Right. That's.
Now, I'm trying to get a response to that.
Well, I would. It's a complicated issue. I would say this: when the first Ashkenazi Jews were coming into Egypt at the conclusion of the construction of the Suez Canal, they came in and they became a commercial entity there. Went into Egypt. Joseph, because of some affirmative action or BEE program, ended up in a high position of authority in the land, but they did not recognize him, which lets us know that ancient Israelites and ancient Egyptians looked, except for maybe their raiment, they looked similar. Okay? Case closed on that. After decades of research and study, most of it in the land of Israel, I'm absolutely confident that the people of the Bible were a dark-skinned people. 400 years worth of Renaissance-era paintings, and God knows how many viewings of the Ten Commandments have not convinced me otherwise. A.B. Yehoshua, the great Israeli writer, he made it very plain when talking on this issue of Judaism. He said, if today Moses, Samuel, and Saul were to rise from their graves together with the judges, kings, and prophets, and we were to ask them, please, gentlemen, identify yourselves. Who are you? They would reply, we are Israelites, or the sons of Israel. And if we were then to ask, what about your Jewish character? They would say, we do not understand what you mean. I would then have turned quickly back to my idea of this Lithuanian and Limpopo intersection